Hello everybody, I'm Rudrani and welcome to Spotlight Sessions podcast. ये वही जगह है where we call your favorite artists and celebrities और उनके journeys को हम celebrate करते हैं. We definitely get this opportunity to talk about the lives that they've lived and the inspiring things that they've done. My guest today is such an artist. We really tried to get her on the show. I'm so glad we're doing this finally. A woman of her own mind, the kind of choices that she's made on screen and off stream are truly inspiration. I'm so happy to be doing this with Parvati. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you, Rudrani. So happy to be here with you.
I mean every word of what I've just said. And in the course of this conversation, I think I'll be proved right. Why? I spoke about the choices you've made off screen and on screen. And I feel both have paved way for a lot of women. And particularly for women. I feel that, of course, you being a part of the, women's collective, starting that.
Yeah.
A lot of things, like you say, the ball started rolling.
Yeah.
And it was time to do that.
Yeah.
Today, after so many years of what you've been through, how you started that, how you took a stand for women in cinema and otherwise, tell me how that journey was for you.
So, Rudrani, it's been now 20 years of being in this industry. So, 20 years is not a short period of time. It is, I think, the bigger half of my life. And now I have the identity of being an actor. But because of 2017 and what happened to our colleague in 2017, I had to get into the space of what they call activism. But for me, just felt like what a normal, decent human being just should be doing. Yeah. But for me, the collective coming together was not just a collective coming together for women. And that also goes a long way as to why I'm here right now at Kashish. Collective coming together opened my eyes to the fact that feminism is equality for all. And not, when we say equality for all, it's not just men and women that exist in this world. No matter what any powerful forces try to say, it is all of us, right? Trans men, trans women, all kinds of sexual orientation. We all exist in this world beautifully without them bothering anyone else. बस चंद लोगों को problem है. So I decided, and my eyes were open because of my allies, like people within the space. When the collective came together, the way the trans community and the queer community came together to say that, we are there. And we realized that have we actually been looking at feminism through a very small little keyhole? And it can't be feminism if it's not intersectional. I am sitting here because of many allies and people who did not take no for an answer, who did not let their rights be stripped away. I'm just pulling my weight. I'm not doing anything big. I don't think, I cannot think that I'm doing something so grandiose and amazing. I'm doing what is actually bare minimum and decent for somebody who has an iota of power and influence to be doing. I don't know how to sleep at night if I don't. I just don't know.
Listen, I see your humility and I know that is who you are. You're not trying to be. I'm saying that is because I have to follow up this with this statement or question that it is hard.
It is.
Because I know you're saying this with a smile on your face, but when you say about 20 years of you starting that, the reason of taking a stand for women who have gone through sexual harassment or otherwise from then to today.
Yeah.
I know you want a marginal change to happen. Yeah. I know you wanted that.
Yeah.
But you sitting here and smiling and telling me, it gives me hope. Because right now everybody wants to cling to that power of hope. And I'm going to mention particularly in cinema as well, because it's a very powerful medium, right?
Yeah, of course.
Your actions that time really encouraged so many other female actors who have felt like if we raise our voice against such powerful people, we are going to be diminished. We are going to be finished. Our careers are over. We've invested so much. Yeah. And women are always told to be more, it's okay. Stay silent. This is not your business. This was not your business, right? In that way of it. But you made it yours. And I think that is why I say this. I want you to tell me, you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
I'm like, it gives hope. How do you analyze what I've just said?
Listen, so I'm glad it gives you hope, and I hope I continue to be a vessel for that. But of course, I've had moments, many moments, and just not moments, like actual events happening in my life and in my career, where the forces that come together to eliminate you because you have a strong voice was pretty powerful enough to scare me. But then bravery ka definition itself was not lack of fear anyway. For me, the kind of people who stuck around me and reminded me that you always have a choice. You get to choose. Whatever you choose is your right. So there are a lot of women, especially, who choose the normal way, as it is said. It is not your business. You stick to your guns. You focus on your thing. What has to be done with you? We have to look at them with a little bit of an empathetic eye in my mind.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. Because not everybody had the privilege that I have. I had the privilege, and I have the privilege of having my mom and dad who are extremely loving and understanding. I have a brother with whom I have amazing conversations, who's more like my best friend. I have a set of friends who came together when I was harassed and attacked, and I had death threats and rape threats and whatnot going on. I had a community of women who came and said, like, created a bit of like a Chakravyuh around me and like said, "We got you." This is the kind of love and support people go through their entire life never knowing. I'm very aware of it because through the collective, I actually saw and met with women who joined the collective who actually don't know how to respond to love and empathy and support. That's when I realized that not everybody has what you have. So if you don't double down on this, it's a superpower you're letting go of. And the superpower is not me mouthing everything that needs to be done. So having the power does not also mean mouthing the words for them. It's about passing the mic. Because I know when I go on stage, somehow, because of the hits or the movies that I have done, or because of maybe the religion I'm born into, or a certain community I'm born into, somehow the mic just gets passed on to me very naturally, or what seems like naturally. It is my job to look around whose voice hasn't been heard and pass it on to them and stand by them. That is allyship. And I took a long time to figure that out. Because one also realizes the moment that you feel you have influence doesn't mean that you suddenly start feeling like a savior. Your job is to remind people they have agency and hold space for them to exercise their agency and stand with them when consequences happen. So, mere liye kya hua? I have had projects taken away from me. I've had
A lot of big ones, right?
a lot of big ones. But again, 20 years gives you the kind of wisdom to think that did not that work for me. Those are not projects that were meant for me. Those are people I don't want to work with.
If they
And
judge
there
you
is-
on what you've taken a stand for.
And if they are the kind of people who think what I'm doing is problematic, then I'm judging them back.
Yeah.
Because they are being exploitative. They are using their privilege to ensure that some people stay suppressed so that they can get some brownies out of it. And so I will continue to keep them like in a spotlight and make them accountable. Because we are all living in this society because of each other. We can't be existing without one another.
We talk about fear a lot, right? And the actor's fear, like you said, is to be replaced, and especially when you reach a certain position, that position to be displaced. You've been through the worst.
Yes.
And you've survived. And I feel that, which is why when someone like you says that it's okay, stand up for what you believe in, you will still be here. You're still here.
I'm still here. Because the only thing that I want to showcase is the fact that it's been 20 years. You can't get rid of me until I decide to leave. It's as simple as that. And I say that with as much love and confidence as I can muster. The reason is, one has to understand that the power of community is contagious.
Yeah.
That love is contagious. And I have that. I have an army of women and people from across different communities, queer communities, standing by me. And in return, every single time that any attack comes towards them, I will be in the forefront. My problem here is that not everybody has, again, financial privilege to be able to do what I'm doing.
Yes.
So I can't be giving or doling out advice, ki you must do it, you should do it. You do what you can. Even if you stand up in the most private moments against a bully, you've done enough. Even if you've not laughed at a sexist joke, you've done enough. I don't understand the sort of scale that we keep at what is the most impactful thing.
Of course.
I think my getting a mic is it's a blessing and it's my luck that I'm the one sitting here. Could have been anyone else. Have I earned it? Maybe a little bit. But it's also a matter of luck. But there are so many people whose fights we don't get to see. In like locker rooms.
True.
A transgender person standing up for themselves and not allowing someone to walk all over them at the risk of their life in this given time. I hope they get the mic. I hope they get stage at some point. So they are doing what they can. I've always thought, Rudrani, that if this is not the job that affords me dignity, affords me equality and fairness, either I'll clean up my house, which is my film industry, which is what I'm doing, or I will go find another job. I am not compromising on my dignity. That's what gives me the courage and the courage to walk regardless of how much fear I have.
And when you say clean up the film industry, you truly have made an attempt to do that.
I've made an attempt.
You have at several occasions. And it goes beyond what happened at Amma, beyond that, because, you know, even after that, when you constantly took a stand for films where there was misogyny, where there is problematic things, of course, what happened after that to you was different. But
Yeah.
even for people like Mammootty sir and all of that, who are massive people,
Yeah.
but when you saw something wrong, you took a stand for that.
Of course.
And with what that happened was, everybody decided, say, yeah, if she says it, we can as well. That, you know, how long would we make women and look at them and have this really problematic portrayal of them on screen? And that's all you meant, you know.
That's all I meant.
That's all you meant.
Yeah.
And it was unfortunate what happened after that. But
It
you
was
continue.
so lovely.
Yeah, of course.
In hindsight, and hindsight is a gift, as Hannah Gadsby says, you know, hindsight is a gift. Everything that I became in Malayalam, there's a word nimittam, and I don't know what that means. It's like you become the channel and vessel. 20 days into anything that happened after whatever statement I may have made, I noticed that it was not about me, Rudrani. It was about all women.
Yeah.
And the way women came together around that period, I was sitting in awe. Nobody could have written that script better than this universe, actually. There were allies from community of men who were writing about, hey, do you realize this is not about Parvati having said anything? This is the fact that a woman had an opinion and she stuck to it.
Yeah.
When my movie released a year after that, Uyere released, and it became a massive hit. While there was a boycott Parvati going on, all of that going on, one of the most wonderful things about the audience that is in Kerala is that they can really love you or hate you, but they'll still celebrate you if you do a good job.
Isn't that amazing?
Oh my God, it is so amazing. And also the fact that they asked me, would you repeat the same statements? I said, whenever I speak with integrity. I stick to how I do anything is how I'd like to do everything. So if I'm not the one to go back, unless I've made a grave mistake, then I'm happy to apologize and make amends. The fact is, the matter is, the changes that has happened since 2017 has been phenomenal. The confidence with which I see women come into the industry and call out when things are not done right, with respect and dignity.
Sure.
That's because of the very systemic way the collective has stood up. Systemic way meaning going to the chief minister, making sure there are policies coming in place. It still hasn't come, but we still won't quit.
Of course.
The fact is that everybody thought that thodi der baad
Sab
they'll
bhul
go. We won't. We are here because we know that this is not at the forefront of an extremely male-dominated space. Unka imported agenda nahi hai hamara safety. In fact, the lack of our safety somehow benefits them. So it is we are happy to be the foot soldiers to this.
I know this is going to sound cliched to you, but you know, when I saw Bangalore Days and then when I saw Uyare later, I just thought that the range of yours is indescribable because they're so different films, but it also made me realize the potential that you have and that you could be anything. Very, very different films. But, you know, again, example of what you could and go beyond. I want you to tell me few films in your life that you've done, you felt have impacted you the way and will always be there in your memory, in your core,
Yeah.
and part of the Parvati legacy.
Happily. For me, Ennaninda Moideen was a massive one. I played a character who's extremely unlike me, I thought. And it was also a story about love in a way. I mean, I was getting a lot of love stories back then, and I'm so lucky to have had gotten them. I feel like I may not have valued them as much back then because I was like, oh shit, is this all I'm gonna get? And now I'm really looking forward to getting love stories again because milta nahi. Abhi everything is this bold characters of like some other thing going on. But after that, I got Charlie, and Charlie was a different sort of a film. And then I got Takeoff. Takeoff was about Samira, and then I got Uyere. That's about Pallavi. And I'm like, all these women, and this is that period of time when I was getting trolled and attacked in a mad, massive way. Like, my entire system had broken down, and these were the women who lifted me up.
Yeah.
You know, from Kanjanamala to Pallavi, those years of these characters. And I always have said this in my interviews, and I continue to say this, that it's these women that I have given my heart and soul to perform. Somehow their residue sort of stays back in me and take care of me. So I don't know about the legacy out there. My legacy, I hope my legacy is the fact that you can't kick me out.
I love that.
I ain't leaving. It's my industry too. Who made you the king? No. Okay. But acting wise, the sort of, my cup gets filled by loving humanity through this job.
Also interesting, then you did Tandayan, and then you did. It was, and it's crazy, right?
Yeah, it's like,
it must have been another experience.
it is so amazing. Like to play a woman who's not documented at all. Like in the 1890s and the 1920s, there are so many actual documents written on the men who lived at that time. We don't have anything to actually look at and create a Gangamal. So we had to use our own brain and imagine what a mother of 5 kids who's like a god woman
Yeah.
felt like. And it was a privilege. I felt like a little witchy woo about it because I felt like Gangamal sort of was like, I choose you to be my vessel, sort of a thing.
I love that answer. And of course, you're reuniting with Prithviraj.
Yeah, I know, but he's releasing in July and I'm very excited. And I don't think anybody is prepared to see the kind of what camaraderie we shared in this.
Really?
Yeah,
Because
it's
the people
way
love you
different.
guys together and the chemistry.
Yeah, you love us in this also, but it's also going to be like a bit of a shocker because we shared something that we have not shared before in any of our films. So.
Wow. And you're doing a few more, the ones that you can talk about.
Oh my God, I am doing a few more.
I know I've heard so many.
Yeah, there is a Hindi project that I can't talk about, but there is Dawn Palatra, whose film that I did with Dilesh Potan. It's called Monkey Play. And then there is Tom, which is Ajit Pal's directorial, which is HRX's first project with Amazon. And I've just finished a movie called Pradhama Drishya Kutakar. It's a Malayalam film, which means prima facie guilty. Wonderfully different projects, all happened around the same time. So I was like buzzing. And I have a couple of more starting with Doota next week. Doota is a Telugu series in Amazon. And the second season is starting. And I get to reprise the role that I did 3 years ago.
I love that. So much of Parvati content coming up. Guys,
Yeah.
we have a lot. Nothing to complain. Kind of crazy how she shot all of this, but there you are.
Yeah, I used to think, how do actors do that? Because I used to be the actor who did one
You
movie,
filmed
2 movies,
twice.
that's it, a year. And this is like, like, I don't know what's going on, but it's interesting. It's cool.
You know what? I would like to end it by this statement. You know, you have spoken about the abuse that you've gone through in
Yeah.
life as well. And you had that empathy and understanding. When I see you and I talk to you every time, there is this certain, besides positivity, it's going to sound very cliched, but there is a lot of love that comes from you. You did not let that become your story, and you moved forward. It's an inspiring thing.
Thank you. Jack.
What were the hardest moments, sort of, to
Yeah.
kind of come out of that and be who you are today?
Yeah. It's like you got to keep a hammer handy. So you can't let the world make you bitter like that. You have to forever fight against you creating the cement wall. The world will continue to want you to make you bitter, because that is the best way to keep you numb. And I have sworn to feel feelings intensely all my life. So I'll always be the one who's too much. And I love that about myself. And I love it. You know, right now we are sitting here having this conversation. getting an opportunity, looking into your eyes and speaking about my life. What a privilege, right? We have these cameramen who are capturing this. It's their Wednesday night. I have the privilege that they are sitting here and capturing this. Not everybody gets this. I'm very aware of it because it's very easy for it all to be taken away.
So wonderfully put.
Thank you.
And we see that you still continue to believe in love with all that you've been through, and you always ask others to spread that love as well. I think that is what I take. I feel the love. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rudrani.
You're wonderful.
Joan.
Thank you for continuing to stand up, not just for your community, everybody in general that you have. We love you, and we're very excited.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.